Lenny Lehman, Mr. Blues Man here. Gonna do some deep water down in the Southland, coming across the road. Deep water down in the Southland, coming across the road. The only time I ever went to Texas, see me like a deer in the flood. The blues man went down to the Southland just to have some fun. Well, I went down to Texas, down to Canadian Texas, in the Texas land. They got a great river there that never seems like there's any water in it until the floods in the springtime, and then you know why it's so wide. They had an oil strike down there in Canadian Texas. I was there during the 80s when it was real big. Well, let's pick up the pace and get this song started. Put my cowboy boots on one at a time. Had my big old cowboy hat right in line. Triple X Beaver was what she was called. I had my Wrangler breeches up tight and looked real proud. Down in Canadian Texas, where the cowboys go, in the panhandle, baby, that's where they go. Where the beer is flowing and the women wild, but it's a nice place to visit for a while. Derek's going up, and when there's a lot of oil, the people are God-fearing people, Baptist one by one. I'm not just saying that to make fun. Now if I'd been a sober man back in that time, it'd have been a great time to be in Canadian Texas. There's a big horse ranch there that I remember well. They had some big old pony that won the bell. Half miles of white fence as far as the eye could see. He had an airport landing strip there. It was unbelievable too. Canadian Texas, oh, that's where I'd be. Canadian Texas, out in Walmart, way out in the middle of an all-day ride land that you could be. Panhandle is a rough place to come from, and I never knew what they were talking about, but I was their son. My only problem was I was drinking too much. I should have stayed sober, could have had more lunch. I didn't know more than I do today. I was just a little boy from Minnesota, visiting a big old town, Canadian, Texas, oh yeah, Canadian, Texas. You see, that's where my mom was from. They grew up there not too far from Canadian, Texas. Alright to be there. They had bull riding and they had a Pizza Hut, and I remember that somewhat. I used to work for an oil rig service out there in Canadian, Texas. Then one time when I grew up, the time had come to say goodbye. I had to take my life away from Canadian, Texas. I went to Florida, kissing me out there in Florida. It was a long ways from Canadian, Texas. You're a great bunch of people in Canadian. I'll always think the very best of you. God bless and have a great day in Canadian. Remember the panhandle, sagebrush and little stickers and rattlesnakes and scorpions and all that good stuff. And a great bunch of people that know how to treat you right. Canadian, Texas. Woo yeah, Canadian, Texas. Mr. Bluesman Lenny Lehman here in October. The 14th of October, by the way, on the Sunday evening, just after 6 o'clock. The man made the lightest jump today from high up in the sky. Felix was his first name, the rest I will not lie. Jumped the furthest that any man ever has in a suit from a high balloon in a capsule way up high above the earth. 27 to 28 miles high, broke the sound barrier, went on and did a lot of great things. So Felix, congratulations. If you ever get to Canadian, Texas, Felix, you'll see why. It's a great place to say hello and goodbye.